French overseas territories began voting in the second round of legislative elections, with the far right battling against centrist and left-wing forces. In his first full day as Prime Minister, Keir Starmer said he has already discussed the war in Ukraine with world leaders. Iran elected a new reformist president after its last leader died in a helicopter crash. French overseas territories began voting in the second round of legislative elections, with the far right battling against centrist and left-wing forces for the future of France. Residents of French Guiana, New Caledonia, Saint Martin and other territories will be able to vote a day before those in France. French nationals living abroad will also be casting their votes, with parties across the political spectrum trying to secure as many votes as possible. In France itself, workers are setting up polling stations for the high-stakes second round of the legislative election on Sunday. French President Emmanuel Macron's centrist party came a distant third behind the surging far-right in last weekend's first round of voting for a new parliament. Macron called the snap election following the success of the far-right in recent European elections. In his first full day as Prime Minister, Keir Starmer said he has already discussed the war in Ukraine with world leaders. At a press conference, he also announced plans to attend a NATO summit in Washington next week.
I've already had a number of international calls, as you will know, and as you would have expected, to establish the relations across with other countries, to have really important discussions about Ukraine and other pressing issues. And Washington will be an opportunity for me to have further discussions with some of the leaders I've already spoken to and some that I'm due to speak to.
One of Starmer's first moves in power was to scrap the controversial Conservative policy to depart asylum seekers to Rwanda. His Labour Party delivered the biggest blow to the Conservatives in their two-century history in a landslide victory built on a platform of change. Iran elected a new reformist president after its last leader died in a helicopter crash. Reformist candidate Masoud Pezeshkian won the Iranian runoff presidential election, besting hardliner competition by promising to reach out to the West. However, his aims will be challenged by an Iranian government still largely held by hardliners, the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, and Western fears over Tehran enriching uranium to near weapon-grade levels. In his campaign, he promised no radical change against Iran's religious theocracy and reinforced that the Iranian supreme leader was the final arbiter of all matters of state in the country. A vote counted by the authorities put Pezeshkian as the winner with 16.3 million votes. Authorities put the election turnout at 49.6%, which is still historically low for an Iranian presidential election. Sherpas on Mount Everest say it will take years to clean up garbage littering the highest camp on the world's tallest mountain. A team worked to clear trash and dig up dead bodies frozen for years near Mount Everest's peak.
पछिल्लो लटमा त मैले देखेँ नि पुरानो फोहोर त खास त्यस्तो पुरानै फोहोर छ अब नयाँ फोहोर त त्यस्तो धेरै त देखिन्न किनकि अब अहिले पछिल्लो लटमा नेपाल सरकारको रुल्स भयो अब नेपाल सरकार अन्तर्गत एसपीसीले पनि कडाई गरिरहेछ उहाँले पनि नयाँ नयाँ नियमहरू ल्याइरहेको
Since the mountain was first conquered in 1953, thousands of climbers have scaled it and many have left behind more than just their footprints. The Nepalese government funded teams of soldiers and Sherpas who removed 11 tons of garbage, 4 dead bodies and a skeleton from the mountain.